Hi, welcome to my channel. Today's I tell you amazing short stories about Rich Dad and Poor Dad. Today's story is about a life-changing book. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the story. This story is based on the book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Here is what I came up with: the two dads. Raj was a smart and hard-working boy who always got good grades in school. He wanted to become a doctor like his father, who worked at a government hospital and earned a modest salary. Raj's father was proud of his son and encouraged him to study hard and get a secure job. Raj's best friend was Rohan, who was also intelligent but not very interested in academics. He preferred to spend his time playing games, reading comics, and watching movies. Rohan's father was a businessman who owned several shops and properties in the city. He was very wealthy and lived in a luxurious house with his family. Raj often visited Rohan's house and was amazed by the lavish lifestyle of his friend. He wondered how Rohan's father could afford such things, while his own father struggled to make ends meet. He asked Rohan about his father's work and learned that he was an entrepreneur who invested in various ventures and created passive income streams. Rohan's father noticed Raj's curiosity and offered to teach him some lessons about money and wealth. He told Raj that he had two dads, a rich dad and a poor dad. His rich dad was his biological father, who taught him how to become financially independent and wealthy. His poor dad was his uncle, who worked as a teacher and lived paycheck to paycheck. Rohan's father explained that the difference between the rich and the poor was not how much money they had, but how they thought and acted about money. He said that the poor dad believed that money was scarce and hard to earn, so he worked for money and saved it in the bank. He said that the rich dad believed that money was abundant and easy to create, so he made money work for him and invested it in assets. He said that the poor dad valued education, job security, and living within one's means. He said that the rich dad valued financial literacy, financial freedom, and building wealth. He said that the poor dad focused on income statements, while the rich dad focused on balance sheets. He said that the poor dad bought liabilities that drained money, while the rich dad bought assets that generated income. He said that the poor dad taught his children to work hard for money, while the rich dad taught his children to work smart with money. He said that the poor dad taught his children to be employees or self-employed, while the rich dad taught his children to be business owners or investors. He said that the poor dad taught his children to avoid risks, while the rich dad taught his children to take calculated risks. He said that the poor dad taught his children to be afraid of failure, while the rich dad taught his children to learn from failure. He said that the poor dad taught his children to be content with what they had, while the rich dad taught his children to be ambitious for what they wanted. Raj listened attentively to Rohan's father and realized that he had been following the advice of his poor dad all along. He felt a surge of motivation and decided to change his mindset and behavior about money. He thanked Rohan's father for sharing his wisdom and asked him if he could mentor him further. Rohan's father agreed and gave Raj a copy of Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki 1. He told Raj to read it carefully and apply its principles in his life. He also invited Raj to join him and Rohan in some of their business projects and investments. Raj accepted the offer and started to learn from Rohan's father. He also continued to study hard in school, but with a different perspective. He realized that education was not only about getting good grades and getting a good job, but also about acquiring financial knowledge and skills. He learned how to differentiate between assets and liabilities, how to create cash flow from assets, how to use debt as leverage, how to reduce taxes legally, how to diversify investments, how to spot opportunities, how to negotiate deals, how to network with people, how to overcome obstacles, how to start and grow businesses, how to innovate and create value, how to think big and act boldly. He also learned how to balance his time between work and play, how to enjoy life without being extravagant, how to give back to society without being exploited, how to be humble without being timid, how to be confident without being arrogant. He applied what he learned in his life and soon saw positive results. He started earning money from various sources besides his allowance. He bought books, courses, tools, equipment, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate properties, businesses, franchises, patents, licenses, royalties. He created multiple streams of income that grew over time. He also developed a strong network of friends, mentors, partners, customers, suppliers, advisors, investors, lenders, employees, contractors, consultants. He created a team of people who supported him and helped him achieve his goals. He also faced many challenges, setbacks, failures, losses, risks, uncertainties, doubts, fears, criticisms, rejections, competitions. He overcame them with courage, resilience, persistence, creativity, adaptability, flexibility, resourcefulness, problem-solving, decision-making, action-taking. He also had many successes, wins, profits, gains, rewards, opportunities, achievements, recognitions, compliments, referrals, testimonials. He celebrated them with gratitude, joy, satisfaction, pride, confidence, generosity, kindness. He also had a lot of fun along the way. He traveled to different places, met different people, learned different things. He played games with Rohan and other friends. He watched movies and read comics. He enjoyed his hobbies and passions. He also maintained a good relationship with his family. He respected his father and mother and helped them with their needs. He loved his siblings and shared his experiences with them. He honored his ancestors and learned from their stories. He donated money and time to various causes and charities. He volunteered for various events and activities. He mentored other young people who wanted to learn from him. He inspired others with his example. He grew up to become a successful and wealthy man who lived a happy and fulfilling life. He was grateful to Rohan's father for being his rich dad who taught him how to become rich. He was also grateful to his own father for being his poor dad who taught him how to become a good person. He loved both of his dads and thanked them for their lessons. I hope you liked my story. It is based on the book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, which is a great book that I recommend you to read if you want to learn more about money and wealth. Book link in description, down pointing finger. Thank you for watching this story. I hope you liked it. If you did, please subscribe, like, and comment. You can also watch my other informative video. Bye and stay strong in every situation. Flexed biceps,